થઈ ગયો લાઈવ સ્ટાર્ટ થઈ ગયો લા
તને કહો ટેબલ જોશે
બતા દે લે
ટેબલ જોશે
હા બોલો
ખુરશી ચાલશે
શું
anytime soon.
રેડી આવે છે કરાવું આગળ પાછળ
And make sure your mobile phones are off.
એ રામાણી કે
ખુરશીઓ તો છોકરીઓ બી ત્યાં બેસી શકે છે બંને બેસી જાઓ બેસ તું ખાઓ રામાણી જલ્દી કર એ લોકો કે ફટાફટ બેસે જ્યાં એક એક સીટ ખાલી દેખાય ત્યાં ફટાફટ બેસવા માટે હા
અરે તારા માટે જગ્યાએ રાખી આપણે
Please take your seat, everyone.
એ રામાણી હેરાનું ઓડિયો બંધ થઈ ગયો બધાને શાંત થઈ ગયો બે હોય અહીંયાથી બહુ આવે છે
ઓલા કે બધા બાજુમાં ઉભો રહો મેં પહોંચ્યો ને એમ બ્રો
Great pleasure that I extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to our chief guest, Dr. B.S. Munjal sir. Respected Dr. B.S. Purani sir, Principal of Vishwakarma Government Engineering College, Dr. N.P. Singh sir, Head of Civil Engineering Department, Convener of the program, Dr. D.J. Varia sir, Head of Applied Mechanics Department, Coordinators, Dr. P.N. Nimodia and Professor P.B. Mistry. our esteemed faculty members, distinguished guests, dear participants, and my beloved students. Myself, Isha Patel from Civil Engineering Department, Semester 1.
And myself, Nyasa Patel from Civil Engineering Department, Semester 1. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a warm welcome to all of you on behalf of the Applied Mechanics Department of Vishwakarma Government Engineering College, Chankheda, for this comprehensive STAT Pro training from fundamentals to advanced applications scheduled from 1st September to 6th September 2025.
Now, let us understand true significance of today's program. In the dynamic world of construction and infrastructure, the ability to design safe, efficient, and sustainable structure is critical. StatPro, a leading structural analysis and design software, plays a vital role in modern engineering by enabling professionals to model complex structures with precision and accuracy. This training program is designed to equip participants, both students and faculty, with essential skills that go beyond theoretical knowledge.
By engaging in hands-on learning with STAT Pro, participants will gain a deeper understanding of real-world design challenges, structural behaviors, and code-based compliance. This program not only enhances technical proficiency but also fosters problem-solving abilities and critical thinking. It effectively bridges the gap between classroom concepts and industry expectations, making learners more competent, confident, and competitive in job market.
Ultimately, this training empowers future engineers and educators to contribute meaningfully to the ever-evolving field of structural engineering through innovation, quality, and practical expertise.
To begin this occasion on an auspicious note, may I request everyone to kindly rise as we start with the prayer.
श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु
on an auspicious
Begin note, may I request our esteemed dignitaries to kindly come forward and perform the ceremonial lighting of the lamp.
કાઢા કાઢ
સ્ટેન્ડની જરૂર
બહુ અટકાયા દેવલો બહુ અટકાવે છે
Thank you all. We shall now facilitate our esteemed guest as token of our respect and gratitude. I would like to invite Dr. V.S. Purani sir to facilitate our expert Dr. V.S. Munjal sir by a bouquet.
We now take this opportunity to facilitate our respected principal, Dr. V.S. Purani sir, for his constant encouragement and support. I would like to invite Dr. N.P. Singh sir to facilitate Dr. V.S. Purani sir.
એટલી ઉતાવળ ના કરે તું
We are honored to welcome Dr. V.S. Munjal sir, Scientist G at ISRO and former Group Director of the Structures and Thermal Group, Mechanical Systems Area at SAC ISRO, Ahmedabad. With an illustrious career spanning over 40 years, Dr. Munjal is a leading expert in structural engineering, finite element analysis, and smart structural systems for space applications.
He earned his PhD in structural engineering in 2007 with pioneering work on the design and development of smart screen spacecraft reflectors using intelligent materials, a contribution that earned him a gold medal and citation from INAE. He currently holds 7 granted national patents and has led multiple technology transfers to industry, including innovative smart piezo paint solutions.
Dr. Munjal has significantly contributed to the design and structural analysis of Earth stations, satellites, telescopes, spacecraft payloads, and advanced antenna systems. Beyond his core engineering work, he is also recognized for his innovation and leadership. He has authored 3 books with CRC's Press, received the ISRO Innovation Award, the K. Suryanarayan Rao Memorial Award for Smart Technology Development, and the ISRO Chairman's Appreciation Award. Internationally, he has presented his work at conferences including the ISC 2008 in Glasgow and the Waseda University ISIPS conference in Japan.
He is a former president and chief editor of Space Society of Mechanical Engineers. As a mentor and academic, he has guided over 80 postgraduate students co-supervised PhD research, and served on doctoral committees across premier institutes like IIT Gandhinagar, GTU, and NITs. Now, I would like to invite Dr. V.S. Munjal sir to say a few words.
Well, my very good morning to the dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, and the vibrant, intelligent minds, civil engineers. A big hand for civil engineers. Thank you very much. That is the esteem we have to be a civil engineer, because right on the day one, let us make this point clear that what does this word CIVIL means? Anybody can make an attempt. What is civil? Yes, just, it is an acronym for something. You will be, really having a good experience, and you carry home certain good memories that what is really civil, which makes you real engineer, because today's, wingspan of the jumbo jet is longer than the first flight made by the Wright brothers. Do you agree? That is fact. And everywhere the backbone is civil engineers. I'm thankful to the, organizers, Purani Saab, the, main beacon of source, and all the organizing team, including the, so-called computing, and you guys. I'm very much thankful that you are available here today for this function. And at the same time, I've been told by you people have created that Rangoli outside, and it's wonderful. It shows that you have 3D creative mind. And today is the world of 3D. You know that. And now we are using 5-axis, 6-axis, 7-axis machines also for our 3D printing. But at the same time, the question is, what are 3D qualities and what is civil? You have to have 3D qualities also before you use the 3D software. You will really appreciate that the civil, CIVIL, the first C stands for what? Yes. Whenever you make any design, you have to be careful. Very important for a civil engineer. Second thing is intuition. Always use your intuition when your software gives you something and the output is not matching with your basic strength of materials. Your professors will straight away reject it. It is not, as per the laws. You have to have, some correlation with that. Otherwise, it is garbage in, garbage out. Then comes V, when you go on site, vigilant. Very important, at that time you will find that things going wrong. Many times students say whatever you teach is not matching in the, so-called, field. Yes, that's a fact. You are there for that. You are the inspector without even, solid pistol in your hand, but you're lost. You have to be vigilant. And you remember, another I is also very important. That is, yes, always be inquisitive. Anything new if you find out, just go to the depth of it. Today, you are having a training of STAD. I know that many times whenever I am there in so-called interview panels, or even C2C, campus to corporate interviews, mock trainings, I find, though they have passed these courses, students will not remember what is full form of STAT. So, always go to the depth of the word. Structure analysis and design program. Remember, today you are entering into this. And I was the first person to introduce this in the ISRO as version, V8i before 2000. But with hardware lock, today you have, I think, 2024 version. So this is how things move. And along with that, we have so many software that talk about that, but let's first finish L. If you have C, if you have V, I, V, and I, then only you can make legendary stuff. People will remember. That's very. Thank you that you liked it. And that is why, we say any good engineer, like we say, Sir Vishwesvaraya, father of civil engineering or engineering itself, His birthday is also coming. September born again. You are starting this course in September. But you know this history. You know, when he was traveling in train, you go and search in any search engine. Fact is that he was in the compartment. It was night time. People had taken dinner and slept. But his ears were so sharp that they were tuned with the vibration frequencies. Immediately he went, stood up and pulled the chain in the midnight. You remember that story? Okay, you can just go to the depth of it. What he did, people shouting, "Hey gentlemen, what's wrong with you? Why are you chain midnight?" You call the guard, call the driver. There is something wrong in the railways ahead of us. The railway line is having some problem. And nobody agreed to him. He took everybody, walked to at least, for 15 minutes, and then he found out, and with the torch they found out that on the railway line, the connection fish plate was removed as a sabotage. This natural frequency through the railway line, it was picked up by the bogie was picked up by Sir Vishwesvarayya's ear. That type of engineer you should become. Then people started recognizing him and gave him the father's level. That is a fact. We are not supposed to just like that, when we become, say, good doctors. I remember in one doctor's class, the dean came and said, "Look, gentlemen, I am asking you a question. The person is suffering from pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicon volcanoconiosis. What medicine you will prescribe?" Chill ran down the spine. Because for the first time they had heard the disease. Then, one gentleman, smart gentleman got up. He said, "Sir, I think I will give 2.5 grams of a typical which will be antibiotic and try to cure that." He said, "Sit down." I said, "Why, sir? What happened?" "Your patient is dead." Not 2.5 grams, 2.5 milligrams. That's the importance of units. Whether you are an engineer or a doctor, if you have to really become a good engineer, you have to remember units are the one biggest culprits where things will go haywire. And we'll take up, in the further session, how things have to really move, and 3D qualities which you should have in this today's world are daring, dashing and dynamic. People should be scared of you the moment you dare to go on the side. That way, if you don't have that background knowledge of codes, today this is a software where all codes are built in. I'm talking version 8, we are even though starting, almost at its infancy. And in the last 40 years, we have seen core analysis softwares. I will talk about that. Like pure analysis. It may have some limitations in the elements and other things, which we will talk later on. But there are some other, big bandwagon of softwares, including so-called, multi-physics softwares as of today. We'll take up the lecture separately. But point is, what is remaining is your concept of becoming a real good engineer. Now, who is an engineer? First of all, civil engineer. You are going to become an engineer. You will have a crown of an engineer. Who is an engineer? From where this word is derived. So you will become so happy and you will have some holistic, knowledge when you really go to the depth of this word. Anybody wants to try that? Yes, it's like that. You should not waste time because speakers are there. It started in Latin. It is basically, coming from ingenium. Meant to people like French call it engineer. Our last word was R. Britishers called it engine. But if that is common, that's intuition of an engineer. And that is why it is said that use your intuition during the calculations as well as on the site. And doctors save life, lawyers defend life, professionals they stake life, means risk life, but engineers make life. You are the makers of life, so celebrate it. That's the point. You should have esteem that I am making a structure. And this structure is going to live, beyond my life. And at the same time, today we see olden heritage, structures, 400, 500, 600 years still standing. Today's structure, RCC, 75 years will say demolished. Machinery, 40, 50. But this is not the thing. They were the thinkers. So last, I will share only few tips of success before, I pass on the dais. Point is, remember 3 lessons in life. Stick to the work like a stamp on an envelope till it reaches its destination. The stamp is still on the envelope. That type of spirit. And always try to have the spirit of T. T is what is S, rule of S, success. T. T is, if you want to spin in this world, like a, instrument which spins about its axis. If you want to stand still, run continuously. Otherwise you will fall down. People are there to overtake you. Nobody is here who will give you chance. You are the only one person to motivate you in the morning that you get up and pat your back. I am doing good job. That will give you a spirit. And last one is the rule of D. Run like this in the life. You are like a duck. So remain calm on the surface, but you paddle like a devil underneath. You can see a duck swimming on the pond, water, very cool, nice looking, elegant, shape. But below that, the legs are paddling like anything to swim. So be calm, paddle like a devil, stick to your job, follow the rule of civil. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are grateful for your valuable contribution and presence today. It is now my honor to invite our respected principal, Dr. V.S. Purani, sir, patron of this program, to kindly address the gathering with his words of wisdom.
Very good afternoon, all dear students. My esteemed and respected today, Sri Munjal sir, my colleague Professor Singh and Professor Varia, faculties of Civil and Applied Mechanics Department, and dear students. I am indeed very happy that this new academic term began, where I am happened to communicate to all civil engineering as a whole again and again. Last 1 year, I could hardly get a chance to talk to a group of civil engineering at a time. Dear students, what sir has given introduction, and if I more time takes of this session today, will not be good, because we always remain waiting to listen to Munjal sir. It is not a today's introduction. We know each other more than 35 years, and the kind of word what you listen to him, please do follow or do understand in detail. I always remain inspired by him since beginning, that what would be the kind of the person, how one can get this excellence in their profession. Being civil engineer, being structural engineer, his role and important delivery at the institute like ISRO is known to many achievements, smart material and intelligent structures, and what you have heard about his portfolio is the worth practicing. Dear students, you are a civil engineering students. I worked here as a faculty before and now as a head of the institute with civil engineering background. And if you can check this admission pattern, you can see this time the admission scenario in civil engineering is quite uplifted. The merit of the civil engineering students going high. In two divisions, I am taking classes, and 50% students are aware of somewhere my questions and our discussion. Point of today's discussion that we are entering to a SCAD programming and many more things which you are going to learn along with parallel to this academic engagement. And what is your role today as a civil engineer? I was telling in last week that students are not inspiring to come to a placement activities and so many other things. Somebody wanted to give you that internship of 15,000 rupees per month for your 7 semester students to go to the internship in 8 semester. Choice is yours, dear students, what you want to choose. But be careful that what you choose that will going to give you a reward. So you have ample opportunities and we are the facilitator, enabler for you. And when we are talking to a civil engineering stream and when we are talking about what can be done and what cannot be done, here in the campus, your few students are in the first year and few are in the final year. And when we are going out of the campus, if you can, where you want to see yourself. I have seen you to refer that website lera.com, the structural engineering firm, one of the biggest firm in the world, and where one of the students of our institute is a partner over there. To reach to a partner out of 10, 9 are all of from the US background or a British background with state-of-the-art institute pass out undergraduation, post-graduation. Simply from GEC student can reach up to that place. Many faculty experts came during the induction program, normal civil engineering background, but reach up to that level which we always feel pride of to have as a student. There, last before a day or two, I got 2 messages from my old students recently passed out from Valsad. My previous posting was at Valsad. So both the students got such a great position. One was the Kirzan and one is the Par. It was nothing less than any pride for them, and I identified them that what is the point there, the pulse into that student that can make them to reach to that level. When you are entering to this, what sir has mentioned, તમારી પાસે એટલી મોટી એનર્જી છે, if that energy is not getting channelized. આપણે as I told you that what the startups are available, which are the startups students are doing of your age, what is the smart cities and what is the smart structural intervention by the civil engineering students. I gave one example to 5th semester students in my class to solve it by the Stevens method. I tried myself by going back to my desk and put it in the same into ChatGPT. I got the entire solution ready, including shear force bending moment diagram, including stiffness patterns and all. So this can be done very easily by anyone else. Where is your role? Who cannot replace you? What तुम्हारी job खेची नहीं ले. So for what you have to do, or you have to be at the top. What sir mentioned. અમે લોકોએ જોયેલું છે સાઇટ ઉપરના અનુભવમાં એમાં કે તમે જાઓ ત્યારે સિવિલ એન્જિનિયર આવે ત્યારે બધાની એકદમ આમ એટલી ઇમ્પ્રેશન પડે એની કે સાહેબ કોઈ અમાર ફોલ્ટ ના કાઢો સાઇટ ઉપર એ બની શકે કે જે બરાબર ખબર જેણે આ સિવિલ એન્જિનિયરિંગ પચાવ્યું હોય એણે આપણે સિમ્પલ WR²/12 માં પણ આપણને સ્ટ્રગલિંગ આવતી હોય તો we have to put the time. If certain things is not getting done easily, we have to put the efforts. And how to put the efforts? This is the way this effort is put up by the team of the civil engineering department. That what you required or supposed to know, STAD or ETAB or certain activities of the civil engineering domain is not fully covered in the syllabus. What is covered, if you can learn easily, let us complete it fast, and what is required to learn in detail, arrange such programs. તમારે ટ્રાન્સપોર્ટમાં, વોટર મેનેજમેન્ટમાં, management, and so many other topics where I was just listening to suggest to few students, even of the other Institute of Merit, that what would be the projects for the civil engineering students, both for the internship as well as for the post graduation. Ample projects possibilities are there. A single project what you can pick up can make your career. અત્યારે એટલી બધી અવેબિલિટી છે. I remember મુંજાલ sir with sir knowing, having his posting with ISRO, my professor told that you go ISRO and check the library and refer this journal and come back. And that journal was to refer the use of spreadsheet into the engineering, civil engineering. So there the Lotus was the program, it is similar to the Excel, and he said that there is a one possibility that you can draw the kind of bird in Excel, sorry, in a Lotus. So there was no windows at all, there was a DOS and there was only a blinking cursor over there. And there I visited to ISRO, was very difficult, bias in the mind that why should I learn this in the civil engineering. But when I visited ISRO and with the help of Munjal sir was given access to the library, and when I referred that journal, it was something different. We adding that values to ourselves, how it can be used in engineering. And today everything which is available to you on hand. During those days, one student working abroad gave me one credential for Web Civil. Probably it would be available today. Web Civil is one of the platform where they have developed small activities. Any civil engineer may require to use it. So and there they put up that America, Canada, Germany, whatever code or whatever language you want to use, which are all across the globe is the same. Probably some different codal provisions are there. Stand available in Canadian code, in US code and all. Once you get master, you can use all such. So you can take such projects, get inspired. I will be very happy to listen to Munjal sir as usual. It is we always find opportunity to listen to him, and I'm sure that will be a great memories for you of today's session. Once again, welcome sir at this institute, and congratulations to all my colleague heads and faculties, and best wishes to you dear students. Start working hard, nothing is left. I know by taking the class into your divisions, you require to work a bit hard. Everything will be work it out, and want to see that every one of you can be flourished in a career which can be beyond the expectations of you and your parents. And best wishes to you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your encouraging words. May I now request our esteemed head, Dr. N.P. Singh, sir, to deliver his inaugural address and enlighten us with his guidance.
I welcome Dr. D.S. Munjal for having come to our institute. Some software training is going to be organized to our department. Thank you. We are lucky that such person with such a qualification and experience is with us. He has given a very energetic and motivational speech. With that, I hope that energy and motivation brushes onto you. I also thank our principal sir, Dr. V.S. Purani, who always provides us with a platform to have such functions and activities. Talking about the software, I hope to learn well the software and learn how to design the structures well. So at least everyone, by the time you pass out, but at least you are master of one software. And it will not take much time. I also hope that one day you also develop software, your own software, what after all it might require to develop a software. Maybe you know the subject well, you know some programming language. You simply have to translate your theory knowledge into an algorithm that computer understands. So it will not take much time. I once again thank our team of compares, Dr. Munjal and Dr. Purani sir, for having come and graced this occasion. Thank you all. Best of luck.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. With great respect, I invite Head Dr. DJ Varia, sir, to share his thoughts and motivate the participants on this occasion.
Respected Dr. B.S. Purani sir, eminent sir, Dr. B.S. Munjal sir, Civil HOD Dr. N.P. Singh sir, our Civil and Applied Mechanics faculties and dear students, welcome you all for this inaugural function. So today you are having such a great opportunity to listen such an eminent speaker in the field of civil engineering. So within duration of 2 or 3 months, we are having the opportunity to invite Dr. D.S. Munjal sir to this institute. Initially we have invited him in induction program for the first year students, and now today to the whole civil engineering students, means from first year to 4th year students. Today's session must be very interesting, very informative, and very interactive also, because in a very short duration I had interacted with Munjal sir. So he is having such a personality. So you will have such a good experience to listen him once again and again in a short duration time. So thank you Munjal sir for coming over here, accepting our invitation within very short duration, and he spare his valuable time over here. Now as Dr. Purani sir and Munjal sir talk with you, that means you are having 5 days training program with in that State Pro you are learning. So there are different softwares are available in the field of civil engineering, and we have arranged some of the lectures, expert lectures beyond the syllabus which is required for you people. That means we have given you some overview related to different softwares in BIM and Revit and then we have arranged one of these expert lecture for concrete technology and for that mixed design portion. And now today Munjal sir will take you to the civil engineering journey from soil to space, right? So these are the different buckets we are giving you. તમને કહીએ ને કે અમે તમને થાળ પીરસ્યો છે અને જુદી જુદી એમાં વાનગીઓ પીરસી આપી છે. Now it is up to you, તમારે શું લેવું છે, right? And this is the need of the recent trend also. So for placement, etc., how you are different from the other people. So you need this type of skills related to software also. But using the software, one red flag is that you always very sound to your knowledge, because આપણે એવું સમજીએ ને કે કોમ્પ્યુટરમાં આપણે જે આપ્યું એટલે એનું રિઝલ્ટ સાચું જ આવશે, તો આપણે જે આપીશું ને એનું રિઝલ્ટ મળશે તમને. So always go or use these softwares with these red flags. There are so many softwares, StatPro, ETAS, NCS, etc., etc. You will learn all these softwares, but always take care for your fundamentals, always, right? So whatever your input, computer will gives you such kind of output. So this is by my side. So this type of skills will enhance your career, and ultimately you are something out from say all other engineers. If you are having such kind of skills, then you will shine out. So you become industry ready for say engineering, and these are the recent needs of say industry also, in placement also. So once again, I will not take too much of time because we all are eager to listen Dr. Munjal sir. So once again, thank you sir, and I also thank to our principal sir because he is constantly giving this type of opportunity to us that we can arrange such kind of sessions and such an expert lectures to you people. So his guidance is always encouraging to us. So thank you Munjal sir for being over here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening words.
As a gesture of our gratitude, may I request the organizers to present a memento to our esteemed guest, Dr. B.S. Munjal. I would like to invite Dr. B.S. Purani sir to present a memento to chief guest. With great respect, I now pass the mic to Dr. B.S. Munjal sir for their valuable words.
નિમોદે સર क्या
Well, students, I would like to solicit your attention that this is a pure civil and structural engineering, session, and all the, participants are, requested for any two-way traffic because I love interacting with the students. My very purpose is to motivate you for the civil engineering branch, and then, take up further the, other things. But the point is, you will be wondering what I was doing in the ISRO. That is, being a basic engineering civil, and then I did my structures as a master's, and then my materials as a PhD. So that was a heady mix, type of combination, which really allowed me to go inside the, organization which is, ruled by electronics and electrical and mechanical people. But when I entered, the fact dawned upon me that structural engineering is everywhere. And that is a fact. Because right from the instrumentation, there is a structure. Today your mobile phone is also getting analyzed. Today your laptop is also getting analyzed for thermal analysis, because there are some copper tubings which are making it hot. So you are having a copper tube arrangement to make it cool. And hot spots are there. Today structural engineering is everywhere, from the mechanical, from the machine design to your antenna structures, to civil structures, to international space structures, to interstellar missions and intergalactic missions. Everywhere civil structures is there, because today we are talking of lunar habitat and Martian habitat. And I'll be showing you, I have been given some 40 minutes to me to really enthuse you to carry home certain good ideas. But I was just tuning my ears to what Purani Saab and other dignitaries were saying. When I was almost in my late 70s and early 80s, I met one your Gujarati gentleman, Dr. Kant Kothawala. I learned a lot from him. He was from States at that time, and he was marketing a software called NISA, finite element analysis based software, which was pure analysis and not like your STAD. And when I entered, I was ushered to so-called pure analysis software with good elements, that is finite element. Now question is, he used to address us and used to say, Munjal, think of 30 years from now. So that was his slogan. At that time I could not understand. I was trying to understand basic NISA, that is numerically integrated elements for system analysis. Whereas he was always enthusing me for think of 30 years from now. That paved my vision, that changed my life. It was a turning point. So like Saab was saying, you start thinking today in the corporate world when we go and we take the interview of students, the first question which HR is asking is, where do you see yourself after 10 years or 20 years or 30 years? Means from that they take a judgment whether their skill sets are aligning with our company's skill sets or not. So you have to have that vision. If you fail to, it is very famous quotation, if you are, not able to plan out your future, then exactly you are planning for a failure. Plan out now, sit and meditate. For that you have to use both the sides of your brain, because when we use right side, we use left brain. And when you are, having the other side, busy, that time it is thinking, logic, creativity, music, and your programming. Like I was mentioning, your Python programming or other things are there, which you should master right from today, because Python is now seen everywhere. From all the applications, including your, what I was mentioning about the chat GPT. You see, first of all, you are using chat GPT. If I ask, what is chat GPT? What is its full form? Anybody can just come out quickly. You are all users, I know that. What is that? You are just using it, but not going to the depth of it. Chat is a chat, WhatsApp chat, yes. But GPT is generative progressive transformer. It is taking input, analyzing it, having forward and backward chaining, and then giving you the right answer. Whereas Google is giving you a number of options, you are not interested. ChatGPT gives you focus. But as on today, if you see the research papers, the leaders are cautioning. Today's Gen Zs are using ChatGPT left and right. What is the company's motive? Is you join a company and they say use left and right ChatGPT. 70% to 60% the work efficiency increases, but 30% of your neurons die. It's a fact. So don't use ChatGPT just like that. You have to come out with your humanizing. You have to come out with a concept. You use your own brain also to humanize it and modify it further. So never use blindly anything. Or today, I was talking, listening to Saab, he mentioned about the concept of people from abroad met him and told like that. Today the scenario is like this. I keep telling my students, if you go abroad, you become a smallest gear in a big engine. But in the Atmanirbhar Bharat, if you stay today, you become a big engine and employ small gears. And that gives you the spirit of doing something in the life. When you see that I am feeding at least now 100 to 500 people, that is the satisfaction. So, Option is yours.
આમાં ચાલે છે.
Today, India is opening up, going to be a superpower by 2040 or 50, and I'm sure coming the nations outside are scared of it. Without naming them, the chill is running down their spine. That India is coming up a big force to reckon with. Anyhow, coming to this point, this is just to touch upon what Saab said. Now coming to this, that as Saab mentioned about the soil to space journey. Now, this is full of, challenges. And I already told you what combination goes into the ISRO departments or DRDO or IPR or even so-called the physical research laboratories. These are, the ones which are looking the one for the better than the best brains who can be absorbed. But at the same time, the advice is don't just like that remember that you're only civil engineer on today. You will have to interact with many disciplines, and the things which will be moving from this domain will be so many branches of engineering will be merging. It will be the optics, thermal, it will be materials, metamaterials, biomimic materials, and so on and so forth, including your today's quantum computing and quantum communications. Everywhere civil engineers will be there. You are talking of, today GPS. Our payload is coming up in this mobile in load itself as BPS. Who knows BPS here? Yes? Yes, that's the thing. Remain, so-called always a voracious reader. Reading makes a ready man, writing makes an exact man, but conversation makes a perfect man. And remember to have team spirit. All these places where you are going to join will be using the one fundamental thing, this gentleman, whether if I employ, I can mold this gentleman better than the best brain, and whether they can work in a team spirit. Everywhere team spirit is required, then only team and esteem works together. Now coming to this point, we are further moving. Can you just move further? Yeah. Everywhere this slogan works: to think big, you have to think small. And this is a famous thing. Yeah, let's move. Yeah, keep moving. But there it was one word written: science, engineering science. Now what is science? You studied physics, chemistry, biology. Turn it back. What is science? Very simple, you'll say what to ask in this. It is physics, chemistry, biology. Yes. But what is the depth of it? Did you go and see what the depth of science? When we say it is engineering science, I've already told you who is an engineer and engineering now. Science is beautifully coined. When this fact dawned upon me, I was, virtually flabbergasted. Awestruck. Oh my God, nobody told me when I was studying in 6th standard or 7th standard that today we are going to introduce, to science subjects. Nearby where Purani Saab attended also in GTU, I think Kotani Saab came. And he really, appreciated. Today we are Atmanirbhar Bharat. What is the meaning of Bharat? When you see the gravity, he explained it. He was there. I was watching him on YouTube, along with I think the Vice Chancellor, Madam. Now, point is, he said, Bha itself is Prakash, and our country is Rat. Always remains Rat in that. Means tries to remain in the domain of Prakash. This country is the one which gives you the proud Bharat. And in that, if you understand the gravity of everything, it is nothing but science. Scientific and comprehensive investigation and exploration of natural causes and effects. SCIEN. Again, I'll repeat. What remembering? Scientific and comprehensive investigation and exploration of natural causes and effects. Very fact, big fact. Today, if I bang this, there is some natural cause and there is effect. Maybe some micro level deflection, maybe some sound is produced, maybe some vibration is produced, maybe some stresses, some residual stresses, and my hand starts paining everywhere. Natural cause and effect, yes. Just try to go to the depth of it. You being, civil structures or civil, engineer, feel the structure. Today the structure is talking to you. How many of us are tuning our ears to that? Roof says aim high. Fan says keep cool. Window says see the outside world. Door says push hard to achieve, get goals in the life. These are all the basic things. Enjoy that. Enjoy your subject and don't think that professors are bombarding, equations of triple integration with respect to volume. Hell with it, who will do it? No. Application, man. Civil engineers will apply. That's why it's a space application center. We are not the one who will derive triple integrations with respect to volume. We are here not going to derive partial differential equations. How to apply, where to apply. I remember in America, somebody told me when I was on the road and my car, broke down. I called a mechanic. He came in a better car than mine and simply said, not the bonnet. He pulled out a big hammer and gave a big bang to it. And then what is the fees? He said $500. Then what the hell? You have $500 for hitting that? He simply said $1 for hitting, $4.99 for knowing where to hit. That is the world of knowledge. That is the world of knowledge. We have information superhighways. So many, engines level. Knowledge is important. What to do, where to do, when to do, and why to do. That's important. And these words in the research methodology I keep teaching. What, when, how, why. These are all the basic 5 questions. But you replace W with your thinking. When becomes then. That's important. What becomes that? Just replace W with T. Put thinking in that. What we do is we randomly, mechanically do. Civil engineers use intuition, are careful, are vigilant and use their complete holistic approach to solve a problem. Anyhow, this is just, then all the guides will tell you whenever your minor project, a major project is there, this, have you captured the physics of the problem? Always this question, Purani Sahib has also faced, I have also faced. Munjal, did you capture the problem of this, physics of this problem? So remember, any program you make, it is nothing but a mathematical, sort of programming you have done, but it should capture the physics properly to really solve and analyze it. Yeah, next one. I'll show you some videos also so that you get enthused with certain other things. Definitely try to meet the time limits. Now you know that this is what is our watery planet, and as on today this watery planet, our Earth, is facing a big problem. What is that big problem? See, this is one of the biggest problems which I am going to show you. All civil engineers are going to face this. Listen. Yeah, this is in fact, the video I'm showing, which clearly says he's putting on the audio, but I am explaining that more than 13 countries in this world are going to disappear. A big challenge for civil structural engineers. Even all the branches of civil engineering, more than 13 cities would go, into the doldrums and the water, because by 2100, today we talk of 2025, 575 years. You are all going to cross this level in your age span, and you will find that more than 13 countries will disappear. That's a fact. Because of illegal mining, then the illegal extraction of subsurface water, and so many illegal activities going on this watery planet. That is a fact which has been done. So this is a changing in shorelines is a typical stories which are coming up and are becoming alarming for the civil engineers. You all will have to gear up for these problems. The structural retrofitting work and then the other things will keep moving. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, most of the things I think are working here. Now things are moving now. I have to take here. Okay, now I was proceeding further. Can you play that? Quickly play. Yeah. So I am just showing you, this is, because all the cities, you find that they are 3.3 millimeters, per year it is sinking. Even, it has come in the India today and also in our, Ahmedabad, Delhi, that our Bhopal area is sinking. Yeah, it is a fact. In the last 10 years or so, if the records are seen, the Bhopal itself is sinking. Now you wonder, if this is the thing happening on our very soil of Ahmedabad, forget about, other things. I'm not going to scare you, I'm also still staying in Bhopal area. But that has come in a newspaper. But this is the thing that you have to appreciate, that today's, population which is coming up by 2100 years, one will run short of time. Now, coming to this fact, I'll keep showing you certain things parallelly. Now, I would like to also say that I am not going to scare you with this, but I am saying that when you are having, it's a very famous quotation, no pains, no gain. But gain itself is having a full form. What is that, It's a positive attitude in negative circumstances. You have to be ready for that. And that's a fact. So you have to really go, and then you have to keep working. And these, words are very important, because work itself is having a full form of willingness, optimism, rejoice, and keep on. Lord Krishna's principle. Work and work. Replace it with tea. And then only answers will come out. Questions are there in your mind. Answer is there itself. Use your ingenuity to find out. Yes. Now this is very important, when His Excellency, ex-ISRO chairman, as well as, the ex-DRDO chairman, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, that we have to remember that very famous quotation when, we used to give our ears to him: meet the problem, greet the problem, and defeat the problem. Problems are there, we have to meet, greet, and defeat. That's why he said difficulties in your life do not come to destroy you, but to help you realize your hidden potential. And I told you in the last lecture also, when I had come to this, that God itself is GOD, that is generate, operate, and destroy. Generate your enthusiasm, operate your potential, and destroy your negative energy. So this is what is very important. This is, giving you the example that you learn from nature. Nature is perfect. We have to learn from nature, which is, making us at least happy with excellence. Otherwise, if you are not remaining happy with excellence, you will have residual stresses in your body, and unnecessarily your mind will create, all the physical problems in your physical body. Now, I will play this. Now coming to this point, I know that there is some jugglery being done here for the videos, but I want to talk parallelly along with that before we, run short of the time. This is what I want to show it to you, that the, launches as on today, whatever we see, it's nothing but we are having, the technologies which are working in tandem. Now suppose I show you this. This is a typical audio. Okay. So you are, trying to find out that this is a typical rover on the, Martian soil, where we are trying to have today the, Martian dwellings. And we have found out that on our watery planet we have plenty of nitrogen, 70 to 80%. But Mars has carbon dioxide. So once they have plenty of carbon dioxide, it is easily possible to liquefy and then make a gaseous carbon dioxide and use it for drilling the Earth's surface. That is the Martian surface, and do your basic, SPC and other, tests there. So this is how you can have tomorrow, samples which are collected from the Martian soil. And this is a high combination of various branches like optics, mechanical, so-called, the mechatronics, the structural engineering plus electronics, and then you have all the combinations of chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, environmental engineering, civil engineering, and so on and so forth. So it is going to play, go to a typical place where it will have a laser beam. We all have, the concept of laser, but who remembers what the full form of laser? Yes, anybody? Yeah. Laser is what? It is nothing but light amplification of stimulated emission of radiation. Laser being used in retinopathy of eyes. It is being used in the, lithotripsy of our medical, process when you have the kidney stones or anywhere the stones are there. So lasers are being used, but we also met your electronics professor in this half room. They have said that we are using masers, MASER. What is that? It is microwave stimulated emission of radiation for all these purposes of soil exploration of the, and we are already coming out. My own students are working on the Martian dwellings and the lunar dwellings in my from the college. We keep sending the students to my PhD students. They are working, and now coming to this point that we are proceeding further. This also I will try to see. This typical launch case where we are trying to show you how a vehicle from static, it goes to quasi-static, it goes to so-called transient domain, and then goes to steady-state acceleration or vibration analysis. So I will not touch upon the details of this vibration analysis, but I will try to go to this point that which is available to me in the video form so that it is very clear to you. See, this is the thing which I want to show you. Here is the one. See, this is a typical type of, video where you are finding our, orbiter of the lunar orbiter is orbiting the lunar surface, and then it will be able to put the lander down, and then it will be able to put the rover outside. So it is a heady combination of structural engineering as well as other branches of engineering, because here we are trying to find out the concept of using the Python programming, that which is the right place to really land there and allow a 26 kg vehicle with all vibration resonance clearly studied, so that there is no resonance, particularly from the frequencies of this lander as well as this rover, and they are decoupled with at least 1 octave away. 1 octave, if the frequencies of the resonance is something, then we try to keep the frequency of the other object double than that. Like you have Sare, Gama, Pada, Nisa, and then again come back to the next note is having double the frequency. So vibration frequencies are also like that. So you have found out that this is the way the things are moving. Otherwise it has a very good background. I don't know why the audio is not working. But you will find that these things are important for you to remember, that in the all journeys of today, we are trying to have the Hubble telescope or other type of structures, which our Prime Minister has already told us that we will be having our Indian space station. Sumanshu is was staying in that, and then came back safely also recently. We have our own Gagan knots and the Vyom knots planned for the next launch. Over and above, you will remember that Sunita Williams stayed there. We went for a few days of 9 to 10 days mission, stayed there for 9 months. Luckily, she was brought back because there was thruster issue with the NASA's, thrusters. But lesson learned is, when you go to space, you face zero gravity. We have full gravity here. You all know very well the 9.81 meters per second square. But can you really go to the depth of gravity? Yes. What Bhaskaracharya, 300 BC said. What Newton after that, said. What Albert Einstein said about gravity. And that's becoming the fundamentals. We have to keep our fundamentals very strong. That's the need of the hour. Yes, anybody? I have already defined gravity 9.81 meters per second square. Now what is more you know about it? Yes? Anybody? You are all smart guys in a very good college. See, you will be scratching your head without wasting any moment. I will say, Newton said, yes, gravity is a force. Bhaskaracharya identified. Full credit to Bhaskaracharya. Now all the nations are agreeing that Indian ancient wisdom is there, which we are being using. Even the Vedic, Vedas, Rig Vedas, Pennsylvania, university is using and then giving credit that all the, matrices and today's, quantum computation is using the Vedic maths, Ekadikena, Purvena, and then now Nicolam rules, and all 16 rules are being used in matrices and the inversion of matrices. Software will be using this approach only. So you will remember that the gravity was properly defined in the laws of motion by Newton. It says it is a force, but it is defined properly by Newton. Albert Einstein after another 500 to 800 years came and said gravity is what? In the theory of relativity, special relativity, and he said it's a curve traced between the time and space. Yes, it's a curve traced in the planes of time and space. Then came the theory of special relativity of E is equal to mc square. I'm not entering into the details of that, but the point is if you go to space along with this, we have zero gravity problems. You must have watched the 3D Max movies. All of you are requested to visit our VSSC, exhibition where more than 3 crores we have found there. So that, footfall increases and our students are enthused in the domain of typical type of loads. When we talk of Antarctica mission, our, loads are there, not only 300 kilometers per hour wind, but we have typical type of thermal distortion. Even our own people who have visited, Antarctica, if they touch any mechanical part there, the skin gets stuck like anything. The only thing to possibly to peel it off is with blood oozing out of your wound. It's minus, 200 degrees Celsius in space. So all hot and cold case studies are done. That is why the smart structures domain came up with martensite and austenite, trainings of the smart materials. Martensite means the cool stage, austenite is the hot case. Anyhow, we are going to touch upon that slightly. So and today's Hubble telescope or other things are, trying to tell you about quasars as well as black holes and all, and without any something called the astronomy and other details of the thing. But Sunita Williams was, really stuck there because when you are in space, zero gravity problem, your body is being pulled by so many heavenly bodies, so your bone density decreases. Her bone density started falling from, a typical permissible level to 1.1 gram per cc, which we say of carbon fiber as on today or graphite or polyether ketone. But those days are gone. The moment the gravity becomes the major problem, the bone density reduces and the man loses the muscle mass. She was feeling upset because everything, she was not able to lift even a pen. When she comes down on the earth in a transition domain, so 6 months physical, physiotherapy trainings and the medicines are given for improving the muscle strength. So these are the typical problems associated with that. And coming to this thing, that a typical type of, structural engineer or civil engineer today will be facing the usage of so-called smart material, which is another Japanese word called biomimic. All of you will be at one point of the time. Today, we are talking of green buildings. Yes. When you are having a so-called concept that you will have energy saver building, You know what's the future of green buildings? If you refer to any engine, they'll say blue buildings. So what is blue buildings? Anybody has read about blue buildings? Yeah, that's a fact. You see, today we call it, energy saving building. We have drafts and we have some, typical type of cladding and we have some typical type of greenery, or we have so many energy saver devices in that. But at the same time, the future is the blue buildings, which will be having the complete sharing of resources, using the blue chips and interacting with the, even satellites, and then have zero, so-called wastage. That is, a concept where nothing will be wasted. Nothing is wasted. Circular economy. Independent units. That's why the concept of space cities as well as the lunar, habitat and the Martian habitats have come up. Because those buildings should be all green buildings, right? Blue buildings. And that is the future with all new and new materials being used. We had a project with ISRO, with some of the professors, and we came out with, and then with a typical type of, piezo-coated, e-boards, which were able to damp out the vibrations. You must have seen that paper also on that how to damp out the unwanted frequencies, which are either using damping or the active damping in the SHM field, which is structural health monitoring. So here you are finding new and new materials like, triaxial carbon fibers, Celons, Tordlons, K13, C2E, polyethyl ketone peak materials, and then the LSG material, peak LSG, that is light sciences group, where, in Germany and all, we have diamond coated, so-called tools, which can machine the polyethyl ketone type of blocks, and we can have the pelvic bone grilled out of it. That is the concept being used for these satellite reflectors here. That was my PhD project also. And here the concept is that you will try to find out now that this life sciences group has become a talk of the town, including the graphenes and chirals and the carbon nanotubes. That's the future, 200 times stronger than steel. We are looking for a material which has density less than 0.05 gram per cc, high specific stiffness, the ratio of modulus of elasticity to density, and high specific strength. Now, you will appreciate that these materials, if you normally use your steel is around 7.86 gram per cc, aluminum is 2.7 gram per cc, your glass fiber is around 1.8 gram per cc, your carbon is around 1.6 gram per cc, graphene is around, now we are talking of nano-based, materials which are impregnated in the resin of carbon fibers. And not only this, we are talking of, the futuristic materials and have the structures which are frozen clouds. Yes, this is the future. All the clouds can be frozen. Even the light can be frozen. Frozen light concepts have come up in the market. You go to the net and find out. Volcanic proliferation is going on in the research domain. And that too for the use of civil and structural engineers to use it in the building. There are 4 levels which, of the engineering where civil engineers are there. It starts from so-called spacecraft, that is satellites. It goes to aircraft, lot of finite element analysis of, so-called aeroplanes. Then comes automobiles, lot of finite element analysis and usage of different materials. Then comes the building structures. Then goes to the foundation. Everywhere, all pervasive civil structural engineers are there. The environment engineers, or the so-called irrigation engineers, or any branch of engineering you fall, pollution engineering, anything. But we need all the branches to see a sustainable, now UNSDG, I was talking to Saab in the office, UNSDG based, things or the projects have to be taken up. United Nations has already said, that sustainable development growth projects, civil engineers only can contribute in this. That is the type of onus you are having at present on your shoulders. So remember that you have to rise to the occasion and see to it that you people only can perform and then go to the depth of everything. So I am trying to tell you what's the basic difference between the invention and innovation? You have to invent and you have to innovate. Yeah, anybody knows what is the difference between invention and innovation? See, when you write a research paper, you are writing on that what I have put a very basic invention, that is some data correction I have done in the present research, maybe at MTech level or PhD level. Then come out the patent on that. But overall, that invention becomes innovation when it becomes important to the grassroots level man. That is important. Because when us came to our space application centers with black long coats and the top of the voice, they said most of your MTech and PhD thesis will gather dust on the shelf. And the chill ran down this spine, more than 3,000 engineers sitting in the hall. Until unless he added, your invention becomes innovation. Think of linkage with SDG programs of the Atmanirbhar Bharat, and then try to come out with your work and define your work. So this is what you will have to remember, that if I today show you this concept of today's new things, you will find that if this is the type of video which runs here, this is a typical type of structure which can be changed as a shape using the new materials which are there, and this is the patent we filed for smart DTH antennas. You have a DTH at present tuned to some frequency of the satellite, whereas you know that you can also change the shape using the remote control. And in Japan we are coming out with the so-called remote for this. So you will remember that it is possible to really change the shape of these beams. I'll show you one video if I am able to show it here. But all these things, are very important from the point of view of understanding that this is the future where you are supposed to contribute. Now suppose this is my typical antenna where the frequency studies are being done. Now here, if you use 3D truss elements, your STAD, if you use 3D truss elements and you get errors, we keep telling how to diagnose this error, you tell me. You start, you have modeled this. First of all, you will, appreciate that the errors will be the one which will really send the, chill down to your spine, that what happens if the matrix becomes singular, the determinant is 0. Then how to really find out which element is giving you error. So you have to see to it that all your 3D structures, 2D is very simple, 2D truss, 2D beam, but 3D truss, 3D beam, along with hybrid elements of plate and solid, you have to have a combination with pure analysis softwares like Sam was mentioning. We have another, bandwagon of softwares which is IDEAS. IDEA is an acronym for, Integrated Design Engineering Analysis System, which talks of concurrent engineering, sharing of master databases, bidirectional associativity. So these are the concepts of today. Get exposed to more and more new softwares, and at the same time don't use the software blindly. Keep your strength of material very strong. Now we are not only just ending here, we are trying to have end release codes. We are trying to find out which 3D beam has to be converted into 3D truss has to be converted into 3D beam, so that all the 6 degrees of freedom matches with the plate element, and so on and so forth. So all diagnosis. Along with that, the important thing in the analysis you will appreciate is the hygiene of the model. Like your human hygiene, you have hygiene of the finite element model. The n number of errors will come, and garbage in, garbage out is there. Simple 2D frame, 3D frame is easy. But the moment you make plates, synclastic, anticlastic structures, Gaussian curvatures, like your airport buildings with simple type of, not light giving S type of structures. So you will find that the structures will become more and more complicated, and at the same time for the lateral loads of earthquake, you will find that all the issues related to your stability and equilibrium have to be checked properly before you release your designs and your reinforcement details. So I am trying to solicit your attention that not only in the superstructure but also in the substructure, when you are doing the detailed holistic analysis where super and substructure has to be seen, because when we design these buildings, we know that they may be either confined or in the unconfined domain. But what is the type of soil? What happens if the water table rises? What happens to the parched water table? What happens to the sand and clay type of soil, cohesive and less soil? What is the settlement behavior there? Because sand allows you to settle, it is settling down, whereas clay is consolidating in time domain. So how to do most treacherous modeling is the soil modeling. Detailed analysis has to be done when you have precision. Today we talk of millimeter millimeter type of accuracies here. In this domain, fine. But the moment you enter into some organizations, they talk of micron level accuracies, arc second accuracies, when you're getting signals from telescopes and the earth station satellites. All the designs, whenever we have design specifications, we are scared. I have to meet this level of, accuracy here. So how much accurate I have to be in my design and analysis of the model? Have you captured the physics properly of the model or not? Many times I have seen the freshers come with a report and the seniors, without naming them, they throw the report. What is this type of analysis you have done? It is not matching with the vibration. That is why IIT Roorkee came out with vibration tables or even the building structures, because you have here the concept of zone 5, zone 3, zone 4 and all sorts of Richter scale type of earthquakes. So it is important that you have 5 to 8 to 10% variation. Exactly nothing will match. But your idealization, your assumptions, your input, your material properties, everything is important. Now on the ground structures, you can easily refer internet and you will say, yes, I have referred internet property, the density is this, the specific gravity is this, and then the maximum yield strength is this. Fine, I have done the analysis. This is wrong. Yes, if you ask me in the more precise domain, they will say, did you go to R&Q section? Did you go to the testing lab? Did you check the models of elasticity? Did you check, what is the actual thing which is coming up for the density? What is the difference between density and specific gravity, by the way? Anybody? You have studied it? Sir is giving me indication that we have to wind up. But I still want to just take up 5 to 10 minutes. But point is this, that density when you take weight per unit volume, but specific gravity is, the point where you are comparing with respect to the volume of water at 4 degrees centigrade, more accurate. And all the models of elasticity is changing in the temperature domain. You are using the properties as per the 25 degrees. Today you go to Arab countries 60 degrees, 55 degrees outside. There is a live problem that, in Arab countries you had diagonal like this with some openings for fasteners. They took it to 80 floors up and then they had the problem. It was not, the fastener was not going inside. Because they did not do the thermal distortion analysis. Thermal load we are all forgetting. Thermal load is equally important when you take it to Arab countries or to Antarctica or to space. Along with other loads, ice load and all will be there, but 4 kg per meter square in the snow load. But point is, all the combinations of loads is important for the type of structure you are handling. You will be paid a lot for the analysis outside, even computational fluid dynamics, CFD approach for calculating the CD, CL and CM. It will be there for the drag, lift and moment. From that only moment, if the load is optimized, the design is optimized. All of you will make estimates when your company is getting an order only because it is a really, estimate. Lowest technically sound estimate. Otherwise, companies will not get ordered, unnecessarily the firing from the bosses. More accurate the understanding, more accurate you have the knowledge of materials. Today we say airport, we have to design, and now which material you will use for roofing. What will be, the complete design for that? You will use all your softwares, but thing is, your own knowledge bank is required. Remember E upon rho ratio of most of the material on your tip. Engineer is the one who has every property on his tip in the discussion. Nobody should open that at that time the mobile and see the specific stiffness of this is this, this is this, this is this. It is not like that. Live discussions. Remember, civil engineers sometimes, will be overpowered by architects. Everybody remembers who made Chandigarh. Who is the civil engineer behind it? So, a civil engineer or a structural engineer will become strong and say, nothing doing. I am saying you this option is only realistic. Then architect will have to change the model. Otherwise, they are very adamant and they will not change the model. So, you will have to remember that things, are not just coming out on the, served to you in the dish form. You have to pave the way for that. Now, coming to this point, moving further and trying to just wind up with certain things, let me just come to this. Various applications in the smart structures domain, and we have another concept of self-healing, satellite reflectors, as well as now you have in the Jabalpur University is already working on the smart concrete. You have colonies of bacteria embedded in the concrete, and you have self-healing concrete. See, the moment you see now the concept of smart structures means you have a structure which gets adapted to the stimuli, external stimuli, which can be load, it can be a temperature, it can be a vibration. It should get adapted. So these are all the various applications, the nanomaterial I have seen you, this I am telling you, frozen smoke structures. Already in China there is a concept that the smoke plus fog is getting converted. They are able to have those, big machines where smog is entering and the diamonds are coming out. Yes, you refer the internet. Already those, prototypes and models are there in the market. You refer to Shark Tank. Shark Tank, most of you must be watching or you start watching. How crisscross the sharp questions to the, in startups like those, our startups. Most of my engineers have left at 40s when I retired there. Sir, I am going to have my startups. Yes, today the talk of, startups only. But have that communication skills, have the depth, sharp questions, sharp answers. Then only 1 crore by 1% equity will come to you. Otherwise, sharp will say, I am not getting confident. Why should I put my 1 crore in you? That way, world is very, very capable. This is the new type of, carbon nanotube based elevator. Tomorrow, you will not have your children or their children going to Ladakh or Switzerland. Gone will be the day. They will all go to the lower Earth orbit in these space elevators. Structures, again civil. It is said that future of this, money spinning industry, space industry, which is based on civil structures. And who will make, dwellings there? Who will have elevated cities? Who will have, floating cities? Few people. These are all various, type of examples I have. Because of the running short of time, I will not enter the detail of that. But I would like to, solicit your attention that tune your mind to the research, tune your mind to the innovations, tune your mind, even 3D printing, which is there for the, now the concept of buildings. It is, there that we are going to have the space food, and in the food also the 3D printed dosas and all are available. Yes. You talk of space food, they are already getting trained for this. So overall speaking, the concept is that you should have the esteem that you are, entering into the branch where things are much better in civil and structural understanding. This is what I was telling you just now. See, this is a typical structural engineering and civil engineering problem because the base where this is standing, it is subjected to more than 300 degrees, temperature where the brick linings are getting damaged, and we are using piezo, based powders to have that brick lining. And then more than 3000 degrees it is giving exhaust. It moves from static state to quasi-static. Quasi-static, it has gone to transient. Transient, it has gone to steady state acceleration when the parts of the rockets are falling down. And after that, the heat shield design, which is done with Kevlar material, and then the aramid fibers. And you will find that these materials, when it is ejaculated from the spacecraft body, you will find at 7 kilometers per second it is escaping from the gravity, and then the complete thermal design of carbon fiber based reflectors, and then the solar boom is taking place along with this golden color MLI, multi-layer insulation from the thermal point of view. Who has done it? Civil structures. Mechanical will only worry about the gears, the mechanisms. Electronics will worry about their programs. Programming will worry about their Python. But which is the backbone? You are there. Only thing is, widen your imagination. Have a roving eye. Try to learn from everything. And then only you can do wonders. Your say should be important. You see, Master, you watched in the Mangalyana how that material scientist is asked, shall I just ignite it? The chill running down his spine, he gives a thumbs up. Plug that for us. He said, 1 to he said 30 when I was involved. I'm talking of 85. He said 1 to 20, he said 30 plus. Each time you give a thumbs up means you are chilled down up to your cosmic caloric energy up to your feet. Because 140 crore eyes are watching to your work. It's like this. So take accountability and responsibility of your work and see to it that you are, respected only for your own hard work. Today your smart highways or your 6-lane highways are coming up everywhere. Your complete Indian peninsula is getting connected from your transport system and so on and so forth. I will try to wind up now because we are nearing 2:45. So friends, it is very truly said that half of the life of civil engineers is spent in waiting for the realization of their dreams. But remember, your enthusiastic vibration should remain undammed. Thank you and good luck.
Heartfelt thanks for your engaging and informative answer. We truly appreciate the knowledge you shared with us.
Now I would request everyone to stand up on their places for national anthem.
भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा उज्ज्वल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाए तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you, Munjal sir. What only we missed that your Euro Shairi that you are known for, and dear students, the kind of knowledge spread by Munjal sir, it is just a small tips of the total, just to showcase you that what is the importance of civil engineering. And it is well known that the person is known by the company who keeps. તમને કેવા સારા માણસોનું સત્સંગ અથવા સ્વાગત કરવાની મળે છે. સાહેબે બે ત્રણ વસ્તુ કીધી. એક સ્ટ્રક્ચરલ હેલ્થ મોનિટરિંગ. ઘણા બધા પોઈન્ટ છે મારી જોડે, તો તમને ક્લાસમાં પણ ચર્ચા કરીશું, ફરીથી પણ કરીશું. બટ these are the topic where student civil engineering involvement is there. સાહેબની એક એક સ્લાઇડમાં એક એક દિવસનું ડિસ્કશન થાય એટલું મને એઝ અ સિવિલ એન્જિનિયરિંગ પોઈન્ટ ઓફ વ્યૂ મને દેખાયું. એન્ડ another topic what he touch upon, that what the Kothari sir की शब्द बोले just before a couple of weeks, I think 15 days before, one lecture was there at GTU where Atul Kothari sir was delivering that lecture. You all must see that because it is available on GTU video. What is the role of today's in context to the engineering students, and what is the opportunities before you? આત્મનિર્ભર ભારત કહીએ છીએ, આત્મનિર્ભર ભારત અને આપણી પાસે નોલેજ ના હોય. સિમ્પલ એઝ અ સિવિલ એન્જિનિયર, what is the difference between specific gravity and density? It is very simple things, but આપણે ખ્યાલ હતો 4 ડિગ્રી ટેમ્પરેચર જે આવે એને સ્પેસિફિક ગ્રેવિટી કહેવાય, અને વોલ્યુમ ઉપર જે આપણે એનું ડેન્સિટી કાઢીએ એને ડેન્સિટી આપણે કહેવાય. યુનિટ તો બધાના સેમ છે. વેરી માઇન્યુટ સ્ટ્રક્ચરલ એન્જિનિયરિંગ એપ્લિકેશન all vehicles of the ISRO or satellite to a hardcore civil engineering structures. Lot of involvement, intervention is there. Just conveying my thanks on behalf of VJC to sir, and in your short time you deliver great things required for us also to understand where we can apply in our civil engineering domain, in our study as well as in the project works. Thank you.
So दोस्तों, मैं आपसे ये बोलना चाहूँगा, टेक्निकल तो बहुत हो गया. If you do all technical jargons, you will have headache. So I don't want you to carry that headache. The technical domain is the one which gives us, bread and butter, and we have to do it. But it is also said profession and passion should go hand in hand. All of you are given one potential. Somebody may be good singer, somebody may be good poet, somebody may be having a music in his mind, so on and so forth. Painters, embroidery, stitching. My mother herself was, having so many diplomas in this, in the government, I know that. Now coming to this point that Saab said, without this poetry, nothing is more, because nature itself is having poetry. Today you go to the mountains and those falls and all will have you a typical type of poetry in your mind. You will enjoy that. Or if you get up in the morning, the chirping of the birds remind you God is not with you. तो किसी ने क्या खूब कहा है दोस्तों, यंग दोस्तों के लिए कि अभी तो पंछी की उड़ान बाकी है, अभी आपकी उड़ान बाकी है। अभी 40 साल 50 साल आपके आगे हैं कि अभी तो पंछी की उड़ान बाकी है, अभी तेरा इम्तिहान बाकी है। अभी तो लांगा है तूने सिर्फ समुंदर, अभी तो लांगा है सिर्फ समंदर, अभी पूरा आसमान बाकी है। यू हैव टू रियली tears and the sweat is always on the forehead and tears are in the eyes. If you get failures, never get thwarted and despondent with your failures. Failures are the pillars of success. We have faced many failures, we have faced insults in life. That is why it is said, आंसू को पसीने में बदलो. Just from this to this. आंसू को पसीने में बदलो, मेहनत से नसीब बदलता है, ये उतना ही सच है जितना सूरज रोज निकलता है। God bless you.
Thank you, sir. The session is over, so now you all can go to your respective classes as per your timetable.
We have to go respective girl.